in Azam City. You're watching One TV News Channel. One TV News Channel. Serving you with information, news, sports, and public affairs. One TV News Channel. One TV News Channel. Serving you with love. Ang telebisyong pangmasa. One TV News Channel. One TV News Channel. One TV special report.
Honorable Mary,
Present.
Honorable Wabinal Jr., Honorable Puente Cipris, Honorable Po, Honorable Lin, Honorable Salvador, Honorable Sriso Jr.,
Present.
Honorable Lau, Honorable Romero Bisican, Honorable Sakin Jr., Honorable Kapayan, Honorable Canlas Jr., Honorable Dwayne Longso. Madam Chair, we have a complete attendance of all the members of the City Council, including the Honorable Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Having a perfect attendance, the chair declares a quorum. May I request the Honorable Majority Floor Leader for the order of business, please.
Thank you, Honorable Presiding Officer. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. We have only one agenda in our business for today's presentation, Honorable Officer, and to deliver his first state of the nation, a city address by the city mayor. It's my distinct honor and privilege to call on our father of the city, our city mayor, the Honorable Sam Norman Copuentes, for his first state of the city address.
And that recognizes the presence of our Honorable Mayor.
Please take your seats. First and foremost, allow me to acknowledge the father of our province, Governor Attorney Henry Sibilya Paminal. With him is the First Lady of the province, Attorney Pearl Grace Fuentes Paminal. Our second district representative, Congressman Sancho Fernando Ando F. Waminal. Together with his daughter, and our Asenso Pinoy Party List representative, Attorney Henry Indy Waminal Jr. Though he might not be physically present, he is one with us in our vision and mission for the progress of the city of Batangas. The head of the Sangguniang Panglungsod, Honorable Vice Mayor Simplicia Bebe Neri, the members of the City Council of Batangas City, I thank you for giving me this privilege of presenting the state of our city and giving me this as part of your session. Barangay officials present, punong barangays of our 51 barangays, department heads of the LGU of Batangas City, representatives from the national government agencies. We have here from the judiciary, we have also the uniformed service and various agencies who are our partners in the affairs of the city, civil society organizations, development partners, honored guests, and allow me to also recognize a better half, Dr. Ruth Ligaspi Fuentes, currently the Regional Director for Region 10, Department of Education. And of course, my brothers and sisters, and of course, my mother, Norma Go Fuentes, who will be turning 99 this year. Again, honored guests, and the members of the clergy, the academe, and I understand Father Marvin Osmeña is here representing Archbishop Martin Umawad, Pastor Yul, and Pastor Yanez, and fellow workers in government, most especially atong mga pinanggang ginikanan o mga igsuo o sa mismo usa ka maasenso hapon kanatong tanan. Today I stand before you with deep humility, gratitude, and renewed commitment as I deliver the state of the city address. This occasion is not merely an accounting of accomplishment. It is a reflection of our collective journey, recognition of the challenges we have overcome, and a reaffirmation of our shared vision for a better, stronger, and more inclusive Batangas. Since assuming office, our administration has remained guided by one enduring principle, and that is the government exists for the people. This is the very essence of the essential brand of service. A governmental philosophy founded on responsive leadership, genuine public service, transparency, innovation, and inclusive development. The progress we celebrate today is not the achievement of one office or of one administrator. It is the product of our collective efforts of government agencies, the respective barangays, the private sector, civil society organizations, development partners, and most importantly, ang mga usamismo. Together, we have persevered. Together, we have built. Together, we have progressed. And today, I am pleased to report that the state of our city remains strong, stable, and steadily advancing through our 7 key areas of governance. The first is economy and investments development. The second, education and youth development. The third is health and social services development. The fourth, infrastructure and urban development. Fifth, agriculture, fisheries, and food security development. Sixth is the peace and order and good governance. And seven, environment and sustainable development. To begin with economic and investments development. Economic growth remains one of the primary foundations of sustainable development. That is a fact. Over the past year, our administration has continued implementing policies and initiatives aimed at strengthening the local economy, supporting businesses, generating employment opportunities, and attracting investments that create benefits for all our people. Today, I am proud to report that our local economy remains vibrant, resilient, and steadily growing. As of the first semester of the fiscal year 2026, our city recorded a total of 4,154 registered business establishments. Of these, 3,902 businesses successfully renewed their permits, while 252 new businesses opened their doors. Further expanding our local economy and creating new opportunities for our people. This sustained business confidence translated into over 346 million in new investments and generated and sustained 13,232 employment opportunities for our fellow Ozambians. The City Treasurer's Office generated 170.33 million in local revenues during the first half also of 2026, while the Business Permits and Licensing Office collected 142.03 million in business permit revenues. As of 2026, 100% of all business permit applications and renewals have been processed through the electronic business permits and licensing system of EBPLS, ensuring both convenience and transparency for the data owner. The viability of our economy is likewise reflected in the 24.77 billion in gross business receipts generated by establishments operating in the city. Through the City Economic Enterprise and Development Office, our public enterprises generated a total of 32,070,000 in revenues. The public mall remained our largest economic hub, generating 80,480,000 while providing opportunities for hundreds of entrepreneurs and market vendors. The IBJT, or Integrated Bus Terminal, generated 4,080,000, while our city slaughterhouse generated 3,890,000 pesos. A significant highlight of our economic development is the continued success of the Ascenso Ozamis Wellness Park, which generated also 1.9 million in revenues and has become a symbol of wellness, recreation, and tourist destination. Because tourism in a way has also flourished in line also with the provincial trust. In 2025, Ozamis City welcomed 352,607 visitors, composed of 352,312 domestic and 295 foreign visitors. For the first quarter of 2026 alone, we have already recorded 50,873 visitors, demonstrating the sustained growth of our tourism industry. These accomplishments affirm that Luzon City is steadily advancing as an emerging center of commerce in northern Mindanao. Under the Padayong Kanunay, under the Padayong Kanunay Asenso, Luzon's administration, economic growth is not measured merely by numbers. It is measured by the opportunities we create, the livelihood we protect, and the better future we build together for every Luzonese. For our second key area is with education and youth development. It is stated that the true measure of progress is not only seen in infrastructure or economic growth, but in the opportunities we create for our children and the investment we make for our young. My dear fellow Osamis, I firmly believe that education remains the greatest equalizer and the most powerful instrument to break the cycle of poverty in the country. It is through education that dreams are nurtured, families are uplifted, and communities are transformed. That is why, from the very beginning of our administration, we made it a priority to ensure that every deserving young Osamisnon has the opportunity to pursue higher education, acquire skills, and achieve their dreams. Today, I am proud to report that through our One Family, One Professional program and the Asenso Osamis Scholarship Program, which is closely aligned with the Provincial Classroom District, we have extended educational assistance to a total of 1,301 scholars during the academic year 2025 to 2026, benefiting 621 scholars during the first semester and 680 scholars in the second semester. Each of these OPOP grantees received 25,000 per semester or a total of 50,000 per year. Clearly, helping our students continue their education without the heavy burden or financial constraints on the part, particularly of their parents. Because we believe that education is the most valuable investment we can make. Your city government invested a total of 65,050,000 pesos in educational assistance alone. This is more than just a budgetary allocation. This represents 1,301 dreams given hope, 1,301 families empowered, and 1,301 future professionals being prepared to become the next generation teachers, nurses, engineers, accountants, entrepreneurs, public servants, and even leaders of our city. Every scholar we support today is an investment in leadership and workforce of the world. Our scholarship programs continue to prioritize students from low-income families, including children of solo parents, orphans, indigenous people, persons with disabilities, and those pursuing high-demand courses that are essential to the development of the city. But our commitment goes beyond providing scholarship and for supporting formal education. We recognize that technical and vocational education is equally important in creating employment and empowering people with industry-relevant skills. Through the Osamis City Institute of Technology, we continue to strengthen technical vocational education, TechVoc, so to speak, and skills development program. Today, OSET remains trusted provider of quality competency assessments services through its TESDA-approved assessment centers and it's officially recognized as an assessment center for slaughterhouse operation for swine, so with an NC2 certification. Slaughtering operations, large animals, also with NC2. Cookery, bread and pasta, pastry production. We are working hand in hand with the provincial TESDA upon the initiative of Congressman Attorney Henry Indy Waminal Jr. for the inclusion of heavy equipment operator as part of the assessment center. These assessment centers ensure that trainees and industry workers meet national competency standard, making our graduates more competitive, employable, and prepared for the demands of a modern workforce. And every national certificate earned, every scholarship, and every skill acquired is another step toward our vision for an empowered, productive, and prosperous society. Sustaining the legacy of educational excellence. Mga kaitsuunan, the progress we celebrate in our education sector today did not happen overnight. These achievements are a result of the continuing vision and a shared commitment that we have that has transcended administrations and generations of leaders. These milestones trace their roots to the former congressman, now father of our province, Governor Atty. Henry Sibilio Waminal, which was sustained by the Asencio Ozamis administration under former mayor and now congressman Sancho Fernando Ando Waminal, and further strengthened and accelerated under the Padayon Kanunay Asencio administration of former mayor and now Asencio Pinoy Party List Representative Congressman Attorney Henry Indy. Their collective unwavering commitment to education brought significant investments in school infrastructure, educational systems, and learner development. And today, under our administration, we proudly continue and build upon this enduring legacy, because in Ozamis City, progress does not stop with one administration. The seeds planted by our previous leaders who are present here, they continue to bear fruit and inspire us to do even more for the future of our children. From Asencio Ozamis to Padayon Asencio Ozamis and now to Kanunay Asencio Ozamis, one thing remains constant: our unwavering commitment to education and every young Ozamis. In partnership with the Department of Education, Schools Division of Ozamis City, your government has continued to invest in programs that ensure quality, accessible, inclusive, learner-centered education. Advancement in digital and transformative learning, recognizing that education must keep pace with the changing times, we strengthen our learning resources and communication technology programs. On June 11, 2026, we distributed 216 tablets to graduates of the Alternative Learning Systems, ALS, empowering our out-of-school youth and adult learners with digital tools as they pursue further education and livelihood opportunities. We likewise expanded internet connectivity support to selected schools, bridging the digital divide and bringing knowledge and opportunities closer to our learners and to our teachers. On promoting health, nutrition, and learner well-being, We recognize that healthy learners become better learners. Thus, we continue our health school system and nutrition programs through the installation of holistic nets in all 48 elementary schools, providing protections against dengue and ensuring safer learning environment. Our city government also sustained health education and health education information campaigns and awareness programs, promoting proper hygiene, disease prevention, and overall wellness among our students and school communities. Investment in educational and sports infrastructure. We continue to transform our schools into centers of excellence by investing in educational and sports facilities that nurture the holistic development of every learner. At Uzami City Central School, we supported the construction of a tennis court, sepak takraw court, movable internet fence, drainage canal, goal post, and a 10 shower with toilet facility. At the Uzami City National High School, we undertook major improvements including school repainting, installation of solar and floodlights, concreting of pathways, construction of a softball backup, a stage, an amphitheater, football field, swimming pool, and another 10 shower stall with toilet facility. We also established an archery range at Common Integrated School, while an additional 10 shower stall with toilet facilities was constructed also, constructed at Kulot National High School and the Uzami City Schools of Arts and Crafts. Moreover, we improved school security and sanitation through the construction and improvement of school fences, gates, and hand-washing facilities at the Hilario J. Romero Jr. Elementary School, Sancho Vilcapa Integrated School, the Maningpol Central School, Uzami City Central School, and the Andrea Coscominera Elementary School. These projects have created safer, healthier, and more conducive learning environment, not only for our students, but also for our parents. In strengthening schools, I would say, sports development, as sports play an essential role in character building and youth development, the city government remains steadfast in supporting our school athletes. We provided financial assistance for the conduct of the city athletic team in-house training activities in preparation for the One Ascenso Zamis Occidental Provincial Athletic Team and training programs for athlete qualifiers to the NMRA. This is in close coordination with our provincial government. We also extended support for training programs for coaches and athletes, provisions of sports equipment, uniform, transportation, and assistance during divisional, regional, and national sports competitions. Because every young athlete deserves the opportunity to excel and bring honor and pride to our beloved city. On protecting the rights and welfare of learners, education thrives in an environment where children are protected and nurtured. Thus, we strengthen the implementation of the Child Protection and Safe and Motivating Learning Environment Policy through enhanced partnership with the Uzami City Philippine National Police and the CSWD, the City Social Welfare and Development. In line with this, the Local Council for the Protection of Children, LCPC, was convened last June 2026, reaffirming again our commitment to a coordinated, multi-sectoral approach in safeguarding the welfare of our children. We likewise strengthened assistance through the Women's and Children Protection Desk and intensified the anti-violence against women and children advocacy programs, ensuring in the process that every learner feels safe, respected, and protected. On supporting learners and teachers, the city government also extended support to programs that nurture the talents and skills of our learners and teachers. We provided training support to the Division School Stress Conference and Regional School Stress Conference, helping our young journalists sharpen their talents and uphold responsible campus journalism. Likewise, we supported preparations for the Division and Regional Festival of Talents, enabling our learners showcase their creativity, innovation, and excellence in various fields. On strengthening peace and order in schools, to ensure a safe and secure learning environment,